What is a Keystone movie? With every season, it grows clearer. A cinematic echo ringing through the halls of film history. But why is that something we should care about? Armed with a new perspective, the Copycats will dive headfirst into these questions and more this season for Freaky Wednesday. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I, of course, am your host, Zach, and he, of course, your other host.
Oof. It's an oof day, Zachary.
Is that like an off day?
Yeah. I've been having issues all morning.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler, still sick. I know it's a week in the future.
Several weeks later.
Yeah, several weeks later, but I'm still sick. Apparently, it's irrecoverable. And my foot just got locked into a moot point.
Which is definitely a thing that people say and not something you just made up.
I'm kind of having a brain cloud this morning, and I couldn't get my foot on the stool, and Zach was commenting on it as he does. And I just back off. It's a moot point. And I realized that didn't make any sense.
Nope,
so
it did not.
I didn't know how to get out of it.
He meant his foot.
So then I just started lying like normal and saying, "No, that's what did you say that? It's like a submission. It's a moot point. It was on the moot point of my ankle.
I have a moot point. You've got me.
You locked me in the moot point.
Moot.
It's in our MMA submissions contracts.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's not a thing.
I've got plenty of them. You need an extra?
Contract. That's when it's an elongated version of tapping out. It's
like
when
you
gotta sign the paperwork that says you're out.
It's an oval.
What?
Like an egg.
Oh,
it's elongated.
The paper?
Yeah.
Oh, how would you?
It's 3D.
How do you? Oh,
you just sign an egg. It's a contract printed on an egg.
It's just an egg. So what you're saying is. Well, hang on. What happens to the egg afterwards?
In 2022, we're the show that talks about eggs. That's it.
Is this our first show?
No.
In 2022?
No, the Hot Chick is our first show of 2022.
Listen, time is
a flat circle.
Time's a flat circle. And in this flat circle, I don't know where we are in the show. Are we still in the third season?
We're smack dab in the flat circle of it all.
I've been out of Dayquil for, really one day, but to you guys, many weeks.
It's a week, wow.
Many weeks.
You know I have Dayquil, like I could have gave you some.
I asked you for something. I said, do you have any drinks?
I don't. I have pills, like a human would have.
Like beverages up there, like, you got your orange juice.
I said we have orange
and
juice.
Your cola, and Sunny D, and then
purple stuff.
And then you got some Dayquil.
Like I know it's like a Dave Chappelle bit, but like, what do you think that purple stuff is?
Drank.
Because I would drink it.
I know it's got Dayquil in it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I would drink it.
Get your lean on.
So my wife is sick right now, and she is probably the one who got you sick. But
I thought you were talking about me.
What happened
when you said my wife? It's like, oh, thank you.
But she sent me to the pharmacy to pick her up a prescription, and she says, "I got a message that my prescription's ready." Cool. Okay. So I go out, I get it. I'm picking up our daughter from daycare. So I go to the pharmacy first. I get there, and they tell me...
Do they care at the daycare?
Well, for a day.
Oh, they do? Daycare?
Well, that's it for us. This show's done.
Go on.
So
go on.
I get there, and I'm like, hey, I'm here to pick up this prescription. And they look, and they go, oh, it's not ready. And I'm like, well, she said she got a thing that said it was ready. So like, I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, no, we're out of stock. We don't have this. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess maybe I can go to another pharmacy. And they go, this is a prescription for Robitussin. Over the counter, off the shelf, Robitussin. I was like, wait, what? So their shelf, they don't have any on the shelf. They don't have any of the prescription.
They're flying off the
They don't
shelf.
have any of the regular. And they're like,
no, I blanked.
It's
I
gone.
realized I didn't remember if you told this story yesterday.
No, I didn't.
Or if you just told me in another day.
No, I told the story about...
I've been sick.
I told the story about a fancy wedding guest thinking I was a homeless man living in the parking lot.
That's okay. That's also
That's what
true.
I told.
A lot has happened since last week yesterday, so it's just hard to follow.
Oh, I watched 2 movies since then.
I watched like 5. We watched a shit ton of flicks yesterday.
Huh.
One was Kickboxer, in case you were wondering. Because immediately we watched the movie for next week. And I was like, on an 80s kick, and I was like, well, we better watch Kickboxer.
Yeah, well.
like we better. I don't know why I had to, but I'm like, you know what we need to watch now? Kickboxer.
That is so unrelated. I would have understood if you'd been like, let's watch Big. Nope.
But I love Jean-Claude Van Damme's face in every interaction. He's like, it's like he's trying to hide his smile. Like he's like this gleaming ball of light and happiness, and he's trying to suppress it down, and he's not doing well. But it's so good to look at.
I like when Jean-Claude Van Damme plays an American man, and you're like, hang on.
They're brothers. They are fucking not brothers.
He's like, my name's
all.
Jack Quinn, and you're like, no, it isn't, John.
What was the Street Fighter one? And he's like he's like the United Nations, supposed to be the Patriot American.
Yeah,
and he's not.
Yeah.
He's very not American.
Yeah, that's right.
But he is.
Yeah,
he's got that. I mean, was he French? Is he French?
He's Belgian. He's the muscles from Brussels.
That's not French.
No, it's Belgium.
It's from Belgiania.
Belgistan.
Well, he's got the beret, so I think he's probably on the border of
no,
Belgium.
that's because he wants to pretend like he's a green
He's on the border
beret.
of Belgiania and France. France
he's
is in Paris.
Belgestonian.
Okay.
And
we can keep going with
the
this.
muscles from Brussels is what they call him.
That's a good name.
That's pretty good, right?
That's slick.
Makes you want to live in Brussels.
Yeah.
So you'll get some muscles, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I guess this is not the time to talk about Kickboxer, but if anyone hasn't
live it up.
Rewatched the dancing when he's in the bar, when he's wasted and then dance fighting, and those tall khaki Chuck Norris pants because they're flexible. Like he has them waist high.
Did I ever tell you about that time that I used to be a painter, and we painted this like really like fancy house that was like it was this huge house, and it was like it was owned by like the guy's like wife's parents, and they just lived there, and he was kind of this
wife's parents.
Yeah. He was kind of this like
owned them.
Yes,
you took a long tour.
I was trying to figure out how to put it, but like so this guy, he was kind of like a freeloader, and like what he was into was like he was into karate and Brazilian jazz.
What else were you gonna do with your time when you?
That's what he was into. But so I'm upstairs like painting in the bathroom, and I look over, and there's this like 80s karate magazine that had an ad for Chuck Norris action jeans. Ooh. That had like elastic in the crotch so you could do the splits and not rip your pants.
Yeah.
So I think we should get those, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, they made a comeback a couple years ago. Well, shit, probably like 10 years ago now. But
well, I mean, my pants do have elastic in them because I'm a fatty.
But
all
mine
pants
do
too. Now.
Yeah, mine do too, but not for that function.
No, just so like they can be cheaper. But like, and because people are fat. But also, have you seen those jeans that they find in like mines from like 100 years ago that are like, no, these are still good because like denim used to be the most hardy fabric ever.
That's why they made them, was for miners.
Yeah, and now
and
like
adults.
My pants wear out after a year.
Oh, are you gonna go into a thing about how things aren't made like they used to?
Well, I'm actually exiting that now. I have already said that.
It's now become a moot point.
Like your foot.
Like the contract foot.
Like your little.
It's a contract killer. Yeah. So I don't have a lot going on because I've been at home
upstairs.
However, I don't have a lot going on in my head. However, it was a good moment last night when we were watching a movie.
Kickboxer.
And I was trying to explain. I said he's a real pervert, and I might have said it like about my son to my son, like he's a real pervert, and he said, "What's a pervert?" And I said, "Well, it's a creep. Well, keep it on the down low." And I made myself laugh so fucking hard, I almost fell over. It's mandated. It's a mandate that when you say creep, you got to follow up with any more TLC lines. You got to creep.
You mean like in the other guys?
Yeah. That's what I said.
What a good movie.
I almost said Kevin Costner, but that's not it. It's Batman.
No, it's Michael Keaton.
Well,
I like him.
we did it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Here's the
I
thing.
don't care who you like or when you like them. Just don't look at me.
I'm looking at you. Hey, I see you there.
Jesus.
He's a big boy.
I
Let's start talking to you like a toddler. Hey, I have literally one note written for this entire movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one note.
Do you want? Oh, you want to launch into it?
No, I'm sure I've got a lot to talk about with it. I'm sure I can extemporize a little bit, but like I wrote one note when I was watching this movie yesterday, and then like at the end I kind of thought like, maybe I'll make some like overall notes after, and then like you got here today,
too.
I opened the book, I looked, and I was like, well, I guess I didn't do those
I
notes
never did the
I thought
extra
about.
notes.
I didn't do my homework.
Every single time I don't take good notes and I think I'll fill them in later, I've never done it.
But typically,
ever done it. You hit record and I go, I didn't do that.
You're like, oh no, I didn't study for this test. But typically, when I don't have a ton of notes, you do, and like the opposite goes as well.
That's not true.
I mean, I can see your notes. They're sitting on that stool.
Never happened. I read a couple things on 2 pages to pretend I did a lot, and then I doodle myself.
Yeah, I don't see any doodles. I'd love. I wish you had some.
I doodled myself.
I'd love some
the
doodles of that.
Oh, well, I mean, we can launch into this one. I'm a little
country.
Country. No, I don't even know how that song goes. I was about to sing it and then I didn't.
I don't know the melody. I just know that like the other half of that is that I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Oh,
yeah.
Gross.
That's it.
I think I was thinking of a different song.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I still can't
sing
sing
it. It's Donnie and Marie.
Oh.
The Osmonds.
Oh.
Yeah, anywho.
Okay. Well, you did that, so you get us back.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
You want to talk about Caravan of Courage?
I don't know what that is.
I also watched that.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like something Trump would like be real into somehow. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. It either sounds very Christian, like a Christian action movie somehow, or like something that Trump would be saying, like, we're going to counter those like people, that caravan from Mexico with our caravan of courage.
This happened. Watching Caravan of Courage.
What is it?
You're about to find out. So we only had like 7 VHS movies at my house because we were poor when I was little. And one of them was from my grandma's. It was Caravan of Courage.
So it is Christian.
No. So anyway, it's like one of the spin-off Star Wars movies.
No.
I swear to God it is.
No.
So anyway, we didn't have Star Wars because we didn't, we just didn't. So one time
we had Masters of the Universe.
I'm watching Return of the Jedi, and I see the Ewok, and I go, oh, that's like in Caravan of Courage. So in my life, everything's backwards. We don't watch the B movie after because you're like, man, I need a Star Wars kick in the 70s, and I don't have anywhere else to turn. In my world, Star Wars was the follow-up to the Caravan of Courage, which is the Ewok story about how they had to save a boy and girl from a monster.
You see Chewie, and you're like, oh, like from that Life Day special. Like, oh, no.
First off, the Caravan of Courage is wunderbar. It's just spectacular. It happens on an Endor moon, as one does with the Ewoks.
It's where they tell the story of Christ's birth.
No, the big star is the short man who plays Wicket from the real one. You know, what's his name? He's in everything. He was Willow.
Warwick Davis.
So he's the star. That's it.
He was like a child in those.
Yep, that was it. So he's the star, and then there's other B-roll actors. But I will say the claymation is just perfect. So imagine that
you called them B-roll actors.
Well,
That's
it is
really wild.
Well, yeah. Imagine that.
Way to put
imagine if they were like, all right, so we still got the set from the Endor moon from Return of the Jedi. We got to make some more money off this. What do we do with it? Like, well, let's just do a story about the Ewok village.
They did too.
That's it. No, I know. There's another.
I don't know what the other one's called.
I don't count.
I didn't know it was called Caravan of Courage, but like that's wild.
The other one is the more popular one, and it's not good.
They both suck.
No.
I've seen them. They both suck.
No, this is great. This is great. You can go on Disney. That's where I found it, and go under Caravan of Courage. I promise, it's delightful, and it has. Well, not, but said it has Entice and then Passion, but no,
This is like
it doesn't. But it's definitely got the set from Return of the Jedi.
This is like when I made my wife and son watch Freaky Friday with me for this show, and then when it was over and like the suggested movies came up, my wife said, "Ooh, Candle Shoe." I was like, "What?" Like, is that about a horse?
There's like one take with more than 5 Ewoks because they had the
budget.
5 costumes. And then you could tell, like, there was one where they're all leaving for the Courage caravan, and then they're all leaving the Ewok town. And as they're shooting it, and the more quote unquote Ewoks are coming in, you really expected to see all kinds of just anything in rags just to fill in as like background extras. But they did pretty good.
It was Paddington.
Like you expect there to be any kind of bears at all just to be joining in, anything that headline around. But they did pretty well. I think they recycled a couple because they kept breaking up the shot. But, good rip roaring good time.
Rip roaring good time.
Yeah,
that's a good review. You should go do a 5-star review.
Amazon. I would love to do what's a watch along. Can we do our first watch along? Be the Caravan of Courage.
You want to do a commentary track on the Caravan of Courage?
100% would. You don't even need to do Get Out, which is the one we're doing today, by the way. That's the drop. We should just watch Caravan of Courage. I would do it a couple of times, honestly.
I'm so bummed at the turn that this show has taken.
Anyway, that was my morning. Also,
so no. Hang on. No. I need to go back because before you explained what Caravan of Courage was, you said because of my grandma. For my grandma, we had this. It was like her favorite movie.
We don't know why.
That you would pop on when she came over, oh, grandma's here. We'll put on her movie.
There was another 7 movies at grandma's house, and that was one of them for some reason.
Oh, Doris.
No one knows. They had money. They chose to give us this Caravan of Courage. Well, they didn't give it to us. They died, but we got it. We got it.
Oh, boy.
Why did they choose that? Why didn't they buy Star Wars?
They probably thought it was Star Wars.
Oh, no, because old people were tricked.
Old people don't understand. Like, old people today would be like, well, my son really likes those car robots, so I got him Transmorphers. And you're like, oh, come on.
Okay, it's a good comparison.
Yeah.
It's really not. It is the same quality as Star Wars. The thing is, I'm ripping on it, but when you go back and watch A New Hope, you're like, some of this you're like, really? Like when they go to the cantina, you're like, that's a lot of masks. There's just a lot of Halloween.
I love the scene where Han steps on Jabba's tail. That's so cool.
Oh, no. First off, that's not what I'm talking about, and you know it. I'm not talking about the CGI shit.
You don't have the original. It doesn't exist. Like,
what are you talking about?
Do you have it on VHS?
Yeah, I do.
That you watch? Do you have a VCR?
It's in the series.
Do you have a VCR?
Right next to Caravan of Courage.
As it should be. Because you rank them by your favorites. You also weirdly have all of the Star Wars movies on VHS, some of which you just taped.
It's Caravan of Courage and then New Hope. Because I still wanted Caravan to be before A New Hope. C before A.
Oh.
C before A when it's the better movie. You want to talk about Get Out?
Where's Attack of the Clones fall on this?
I don't count that.
No. Oh,
I told
it's
you.
at least on par with Caravan of Courage.
I deal with quality. I told you.
Oh, man. What a bad movie.
No, you're absolutely wrong.
All right, do you want to give us a little synopsis of Get Out so we can talk about it?
Oh, man. I mean, it's pretty good. I don't have any jokes. This movie is pretty fucking serious.
Yeah, it really was.
A young African-American man visits his Caucasian girlfriend's cursed family estate. I left it at that. I'm like, because you don't want to, I guess we're about to do spoilers, so.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Wait.
If you haven't seen Get Out, and I didn't. I knew the premise of it. So I knew what the twist was going to be. But I will say.
So you're a real chubby checker is what you're saying.
45 minutes into this movie, I was like, oh, they're really hinting at what I already know. Like, this is pretty on the nose of what they're about to do. Yeah. They weren't sly about it.
I think if you didn't know.
And I'm happy with that. And I think that's why I found it so quickly. And the notes was like, well, clearly everyone knows what this movie is about.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah, because the first time, you meet the mom decoy or whatever it is. They say
Catherine Keener?
And a little piece of mom in the kitchen. You see, you're like, well, that was 100%.
Oh, her, yeah.
That was very clearly addressing that woman is the mom.
Well, I don't think you would jump to that
But
if
you knew something was weird.
I don't think you would jump to that if you didn't know the twist.
Well,
but it is, yeah, oh, it's creepy. There's something off here. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know how to say it. It's not that they're talking specifically like older people than they are. It's that they're talking like very blue blood white people. I kept saying it. I'm like, they're talking like white people, like very, what do I want to say? Like New England, not New England,
proper.
But,
they're proper.
The Connecticut.
Yeah. I mean, they are in upstate New York, so it's not like that far off.
Is that where they were?
Yeah.
So.
Huh.
I don't have my usual nonsense because this was a fucking serious role.
Because it was a good movie.
Early on, I will say, I love the actor that plays Dre, the one that's abducted in the movie.
Oh, Lakeith Stanfield, he's so good.
Yeah, he's from Uncut Gems.
He's in Uncut Gems. He's in Knives Out. He's in.
What was he in Knives Out? I only saw that once.
He's like the partner. He's a cop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Was he in Dave? He's not the guy in Dave, is he?
In Dave?
Yeah, the show Dave.
I've never seen it.
About the rapper.
No, he is in Atlanta.
The ATL.
He is in Atlanta, the show Atlanta with
I didn't watch that.
Oh,
with,
man.
With Danny Glover.
With Donald Glover.
And
Brian Tyree Henry, who is so fucking good. Yeah, no, he's in that. He's really good in that. That's how I first saw him, was in Atlanta, which is a show that everybody should watch.
So the opening shot where they're dragging Dre to the trunk, I wrote down, oh my God, I love the cinematography. Like the fucking shots
gorgeous.
In this are great. And I didn't realize, I don't know what else he's directed, but as
Jordan Peele, that was his first movie.
As we were searching this one, I saw Us, and I went, I think I liked Us. I didn't realize it was the same fucking director.
Jordan Peele,
I watched the trailer because I'm like, hey, I'm gonna watch it. I want to watch Us afterwards. And I was like, oh shit, no, I like that movie.
This is way better than Us, I think. But
yeah, I had no idea it was the same director.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the only two movies he's done. He's got one coming out next year.
So throughout the movie,
or this year,
it was just the color palette that he chose to get the depth.
What I didn't like
and frame in the woods when they're on the estate on the.
I was going to say what I didn't like is when Chris, that's Daniel Kaluuya, when he goes out in the woods at night that first night. I didn't like it. It's clear, like as someone who edits and like has worked in like some color stuff recently, it's clear that they shot day for night, and that's why it's kind of blue in that scene. That's how it felt to me.
I was so distracted by the outside scene because that fucking running grandpa, when he first starts running, I was like, ooh,
this is weird.
It kind of spooked me, and then when he kept coming close, like, oh, this is fucking terrifying.
Right?
I'm like, then he veers off the last second. I'm like, that was good. I'm like, I like this movie.
Yeah.
I was interested at that point, and I'm glad I knew that it was a precursor for the deer for something. I wasn't exactly understanding what, but when that deer hit the car and hit so high in the tree, it was like a 3-second pause of me giggling into outlandish laughter because of just how they did the effect that deer hit the tree. I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, was that a giant bunny? And then it took me a minute to process, and then just another one, like I couldn't gain composure when I started laughing at how funny that is. And I wanted to rewind it so bad and just keep watching it. So
I did love.
It was a fake deer, so don't get on me.
Well, I mean,
the world,
whatever.
What was that?
I was loading up for something.
I did, and I lost it. Your watch, and then you just sighed.
I lost it.
Good God.
I had something to say, and then I lost it.
What about the deer?
No.
Or about the color?
No, I was going to say something about the color. I mean, you're 1,000,000% right. The color is incredible. The cinematography is amazing. And did you watch Key and Peele?
No.
Oh, you would like Key and Peele. You should watch it.
I've seen enough of it.
Really?
Yeah.
And you don't like it?
I've seen like the short clips of it.
It seems like you would dig it. I mean, it's just good sketch comedy. They're really funny. And I like them individually, but I think it's interesting that like Jordan Peele is like getting into this kind of thriller, horror, social commentary stuff, which is I think really good. And then Keegan-Michael Key is just straight up actor. Like, did you see Don't Think Twice?
I did not.
Mike Birbiglia's movie about like an improv team. It's really good. I think you would like it a lot, actually.
I hate Mike Birbiglia.
Do you really?
No.
I was gonna say that's
Although
insane.
I don't like that he has the headset mic. I get why he does it though, but
He doesn't always.
it's weird. It's strange.
Yeah.
Other stand-up comics that I like do it. Ricky Gervais.
You like Ricky Gervais?
I like him, but I don't like his headset. I don't know why people do that. It's awkward.
He's just a little pompous for me.
Yeah, well, it's because you don't like competition with your fucking pompous ass.
Why, I never, sir. I'm a homeless man who sleeps in the parking lot of a fancy wedding venue.
I'm gonna go ahead.
God damn it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this that I'm gonna defend Chris when I'm like, oh, you 100% should tell, especially your white family, that your boyfriend's black.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what to say.
Because you don't know. Like for him, like, of course.
And I had this discussion at home about, like, I think you should do it with any ethnicity because I think...
You don't want them to react poorly.
That's the thing. I think across the board with any other ethnicity, it's very... I don't think it's just white and black people. I think it's just any other one. They're not ready. Like, they're just not prepared unless it's a normal thing that you do.
So with her saying, like, I've never dated a black guy before, it is... A reasonable reaction for him to be like, hey, let them know
especially
that I'm black.
For that particular well, not that particular setting, but like
that fancy house,
a bunch of white people in a fancy part of town. Like, yeah, you might want to. But I was thinking, like, that's, I don't know, if you're bringing home an Asian person and my family wasn't expecting it, I would tell them 100% because it's not that they would act racist. They just would act weird at first because they weren't ready to process it.
Oh.
If I was dating a black woman and she would bring me home, I'd be like, hey, make sure you tell them that I'm white. Like, I'd be like, please tell them that I'm white.
They know.
I just need them to be
I don't want
prepared.
this to be a problem. Yeah, I don't want to be uncomfortable.
It's a thing. Why do people act like they don't see color? That you do see color.
Yeah.
You should see color. It's
you should be aware of it. I did see that thing like recently about like the people who say I don't see color. That just means they're racist, basically.
Yeah, you're just trying to mask it. I'm like, of course I see color. Why would you not? Why are you trying to hide the fact that you do? It's not a bad thing that you notice it.
Well, which is actually kind of like leads really well into the like overall theme of this movie, which is like the relationship of like between like races in this country and the idea of like these well-meaning white people, which is like the setup before the twist, obviously, but like, you know, the whole thing of like Bradley Whitford saying like, I would have voted for Obama for a third term, best president in my lifetime. It's like, okay, man, you don't need to go out of your way to tell a black person that you love Obama. That was insane.
When that golfer walked up and was like, I love Tiger. I love he kept calling him Tiger.
I know Tiger.
Not Tiger Woods, by the way.
Yeah.
I kept thinking if I were Chris, I'd be like, oh, I've never met him. Like, it was just like, just counter it.
Who?
Like, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird.
But I will say, like, it was 100%, like, once again, transparent when he's like, hey, let me see your golf swing after that. Yeah. And then the next woman was like, is it true you don't go back or whatever? And then was squeezing his muscle. I'm like, oh, no, it's a trade. Like, it's an auction.
Yeah, and
like,
then that dude talking about, like, black skin, he's cool. Or it was like, oh, no.
But all of a sudden, you're like, okay, there it was. Like, it no longer is this a disguise. And then that's why I love the bingo. I thought the bingo reveal was so... fucking well done. How they were just holding up the cards because it's clear that they're doing it actually are doing an auction right there.
Yeah,
and it was funny because my son was watching this with us, and he goes, "Why would they want to buy that painting for $1 million?" Like, I was like, "Oh no,
no, that's not what they're selling."
He was getting it the whole time. Because I'm like, it's like a scary thriller. And he goes, oh, yeah, like, this is getting scary. It's getting scary.
Oh, they're going to buy some art.
And he's onto it. He goes, yeah, something's wrong with I don't trust that maid. And then the woman who hypnotized him, something's wrong with her. And he's keeping his eyes open. Then all of a sudden, that was just the wild card. Why would they buy that painting of Chris for $2 million?
That's so much money.
I was like, okay.
For just a painting.
You're
like, you don't get it,
I better
dude.
pause it and explain this now.
Oh, I love that. I almost want like his review.
Yeah.
We'll have him do like a 30-second review of the movie.
Yeah.
No, I really love that, and I love. I forgot Stephen Root was in this movie, and he's always good.
The blind guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know his name. I always think of him when he was blind in. My brother wrote that.
Oh yeah.
I was like, is this
man.
gonna be a different version of him?
That's funny. Yeah, I forgot he was in that movie.
So I knew right then and there when he knew him and he was blind. I was like, oh, there. I was like, that's who's gonna buy him. So when he did with the $10 million in the auction, when he did the $10 million bid, I was like, ooh, I knew it. I called it.
Yeah. Well, and the whole thing, like,
But do you think you would get his eye, like not his physical eyes, like his eye for pictures?
I don't think so, but
Like
who knows?
I like that
I don't know how the process works.
I like that they did it. That was cool, and it definitely called it. But I'm like, I don't think that is how it works. I think
No, because I don't think that like the physical like makeup of a person's eye is what determines if they have like a good eye for photographs, you know?
Yeah.
But who knows?
I know.
Not me.
Well, you should have came to me earlier.
I don't know. But I did think that was kind of cool that like, so all the people who are interested in buying Chris and like taking over his body basically were like, part of it was this weird fetishization of like, he's a black man and like, you know, his muscles or his athleticism or whatever. And like weirdly, Stephen Root was like, I'm interested in you as an artist. Like he didn't care that it was a black guy, which is I thought was really interesting that the guy that gets him is like, you know.
Yeah. The dinner scene, right away I wrote that note. I'm like, oh, I hate that brother. Like that.
Oh,
brother,
he sucks.
Like no, I mean like. The actor, I'm like, you look untrustable. Like, I don't like, untrustworthy. I do not like you
little slime ball
as a person. Like, I don't think they did much to that facial hair to
I feel like I've seen him in a couple other things and I can't remember what.
He was real slimy, and I wasn't expecting the whole family to be part of it. So I didn't know what he was working on. When he was doing the MMA thing, I'm thinking he's just making a racist remark.
Oh, for sure.
Which he kind of was.
Oh, he definitely was.
But I don't see how that was any more racist than when the dad was like, oh, you like basketball, huh? I was like, all right.
Yeah, no, they all were. They all were that, like, mild, like, they were all that sort of institutional racism that, like, they seem like they have, like, good intentions or whatever, but it's like, oh, no, you have these same, like, preconceptions about a person just because of their race.
So explain to me why the...
he was in X-Men First Class. That's where I knew him from for sure.
Oh, is he the
brother? Yeah, he was in. I think he was like Cyclops' older brother. You know, the guy who shoots the blast out of his chest. I think he's that guy.
Got you.
Maybe he's Toad. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking he was Toad.
He might be Toad. I don't know.
I thought he was Toad.
But he's in that movie. And he was in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which I am conflicted about.
Why?
I don't know. I really liked it when I saw it, and then the more I kind of thought about it, the less I liked it, and the more kind of like preachy and over the top it felt. I don't know. That's it.
Would you? Would you? We had this discussion too. If you're with your black friend and the cops stop you and they want his ID too.
Yes.
And he's clearly like, "Fuck it, just get this over with." Do you do the white
that's
stupid
so
defense, or do you just go, "Yeah, I'm with you. Like, let's just get out of here."
You don't push it.
No, yeah, that's
like because you're putting their life in danger.
At first glance, you're like, "Oh, she's standing up for him," but then you're like, "Ooh, no!" Like, I think most black people would agree that are doing what he's doing. That they're like, "Ooh, shut the fuck up."
No, she was severely exercising her white privilege and saying, like, "No, you don't have to do this. You haven't done anything." And it's like, dude, just fucking.
Plus, it also kind of puts him in the passenger seat yet again. Metaphorically, of like, oh yeah, you need to defend me because I can't. Like, no, like you're putting him down in trying to defend him. Like, oh, don't worry, for sure. I'll handle this. Like, I'm white.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, there was. I did enjoy at the end of dinner when he's just nodding. I was cracking up laughing when he's like, "Yep." To everything she's saying, she goes, "Is that what you're gonna say?" He's just like trying to bite his tongue, like. I fucking told you. I fucking told you all of this. This is how people act.
Oh, man. Well, I just want you to know I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could.
So, other than that, I don't know. I don't know.
How do you feel about this movie?
Overall, I don't know how soon I'm going to watch it again.
No, but did you think it was a good one? And
of course.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
We're done.
We're wrapped. All my notes are just like about the movie. Like once again, this isn't a standard one for our series.
No, it's very different.
Yeah.
I picked it because I wanted something different, and I wanted to do a good movie that like we could have a chance to kind of talk about and see. I don't know the way like. So it doesn't hit a lot of our freak similes.
No.
But that being said, I think it really like owes a lot to the body swap concept, you know? I think it still builds on it. It takes it and it takes like this little kernel and builds out this much more interesting allegory for race in the United States.
Yeah. Did you watch the alternative ending?
No.
Okay. Well, it's kind of exactly what you think it's going to be. Because when when TSA pulled up and you thought it was a cop, I was like, "Ooh!" It was the bitter taste of like, God, this is so bad. This guy did deserve to get out, and no pun intended. So when he pulls up, you're like, "Ugh!" So basically, that feeling is the alternative ending, where it really is the cops.
Yeah.
And the Rose, is that her name?
Yeah.
She still dies. But it just cuts to like him getting arrested, and then 6 months later, and his TSA friend visits him in the penitentiary, and Chris is just like, "You need to stop trying. Like I'm basically the martyr here, but I'm at peace because of the thing with his mom, where he saved grandma and as representation of his mom.
Yeah.
And that's the end. Is basically he's going to be
That's
incarcerated
interesting.
for the rest of his life because obviously he's up against the white family, or not really white family, but you know what I'm saying, like the cops, and then what happened at the estate. And
Yeah.
the worst part is like clearly with him being incarcerated, it still exists because in that video when they were talking about how they perfected the system, that just means that they perfected it, not that it still wasn't occurring.
I don't know. I think it kind of does. I think it is just they're the only ones who knew how to do it, And I think it was that hubris of like, well, we're going to be around for a long time because we'll get some people to put our brains in when we get too old. Or whatever.
How many people
Yeah.
there were, because obviously there was all
We
these
saw
boyfriends.
3 so far. Like,
Well, no, but there was all the pictures of the boyfriends.
yeah.
So
but
you
we saw
assume-
3 in action.
Yeah, you saw assume they were all successful.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
And then when she was looking up top NCAA picks or whatever, you're like, God, oh, there it is. That's what it was. I was like, oh my God, I fucking hate this movie. When she had a fucking glass
bowl
of
of
milk
cereal and a glass of
bowl
milk.
dry cereal, and she was eating them one by one and then sipping the milk, I'm like, no one eats cereal like that.
Nope.
Is that a white thing?
No.
Is that a cracker thing?
But I think that Allison Williams is so perfect for that role. She fits that so well. And the only thing I had known her from prior to this was she was on Girls, and it was very it was very fitting for her character to be this. It was like, oh yeah, that works. She's really good at that. I liked everybody in this movie. This was like jam packed with actors who I really enjoy. I thought Bradley Whitford was a very good secret evil guy.
Was that the dad?
Yeah, he's good at being smarmy.
I don't think he was that secret though. What he was in West Wing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were discussing it. I can only remember him as the fucking villain in Billy Madison. Like that's what that's always where my mind goes to.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we still need to go through the freak similes.
Yeah, I don't have very many.
Internal monologue. I said no. However, because she was in his head in the what's it called,
the sunken place.
the sunken place. Because she was in his head, I was kind of like
You were like,
considering it for a minute. Like, it's kind of internal.
Oh man, I love those shots, especially the one when Chris is trying to leave and she can't find the keys, and then they put him out and he falls on the floor. I love those shots of him in the sunken place seeing out.
Yeah,
and I was really just trying to think of I wonder how they did that shot with the them carrying him. That's such a cool shot. I really love the look of that.
For a second, even though it made no sense because we saw the photos of Rose dating the guys.
Yeah.
Even though it made no sense, for a second when she's still putting up the facade, I'm like, man, maybe somehow she's not. Maybe somehow she really does like him.
Yeah.
Because at the end she was like, "Oh, you were my favorite." But then when she pulls the keys out and is in, like you said, all smart.
I can't give these to you.
Yeah.
It was like, oh.
Because for a minute I'm like, wait, is she? Why is she still on his?
You know what I
side?
really loved is that when the TSA guy is searching for Lakeith Stanfield for Dre, when he sees the picture online, in the search, there is a picture of him that you can see half of her face in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I noticed that. I was like, oh, that's her.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, like, I thought that was really cool.
Nice.
Because when he's texting, he's, like, in this neighborhood. He's in this, like, ritzy neighborhood that, like, he's uncomfortable in at the beginning of the movie. And then the brother picks him up. But, like, he's texting, like, I don't know what's going on. And so, like, clearly, she's still the bait of, like, you know, being around, like, him to lure him in and telling him, hey, come to this place. And that's how it happened. So, like, when I saw, like, her, just, like, half of her face in that picture, I was like, oh, that's a cool little fun detail.
Why? What do you think it was that the brother was getting in trouble at dinner? Like, why was he getting in trouble? Because he was about to, like, I guess, asphyxiate him? And, like, they wasn't supposed to? Like, the brother was just drunk and went off.
He's just an asshole and wants to, like... I think he's just an asshole and wants to... like, be in control. You know, he's that little shit, like, son who's like, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'll take care of it. And, like, he's just like, yeah, let's do this now. And it's like, you're stupid. Like, don't do this. You're not going by the plan. He's kind of a loose cannon. Like, he's kind of a Pappas, you know?
Oh, well, that's not this season, though. So if you can time warp or time loop or whatever back into the second season, you could check that off. So
I did think the ending, like you were talking about, where, like, you know, TSA pulls up and you think it's a cop. I thought it did have that vibe of, like, Two Identical Strangers, where we think everything's okay. You know, he's getting out of there, and then the cop is like, hey, I'm in the loop too. You know, that whole thing, like, it felt similar where, like, the cops pull up and you're like, oh no, you have that dread.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, like, you know, it pulls back from it. But, like, it gives you that same feeling, which I thought was really interesting.
So no internal monologue.
That's a no for me.
Shitty significant other.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much part of it.
Oh, yeah. Big thing.
But special day.
No,
not really. I mean,
nothing important.
They come for him, but that's not really a special day.
I guess it's important
because she was lying about how that once a year thing.
Well, I was gonna say, I guess it's an important day in as much as he's going to meet her parents, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't count that. No. I said no. So there's no swap to take in stride.
Yes, correct.
So no. I guess Lakeith Stanfield freaks out, so his swap didn't. He didn't take it in stride.
There was no pedophilia.
Nope, no fucks a kid.
No one fucks a kid. Outsider, yeah, because of TSA.
You know what? You're right.
He's texting his friend.
I didn't check it, but yes, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
he's saying it's weird, and that's what leads him to
chaos in the other's life. No, because there's not actually a swap.
Well, I mean, there's chaos.
Right, but there's no swap still, so they can't cause chaos in each other's lives.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I guess you're right. They don't say it out loud. He's not like, man, I wish that you could take over my body.
I mean, Stephen Root is like, ha ha ha.
And that's the thing is, they don't swap.
They don't. New perspective, I said no, because, like, we knew that, like, racist to racist, and that's what we got.
Because Chris already knew that it was fucking weird.
Polar opposites.
Sure.
Yeah. Young guy who can see, old guy who can't. Yeah. Polar opposites.
Plus one's black.
What?
Yeah. I did enjoy, he was like, why black people? He goes, I don't know. Like, I love how that was the answer.
Well, he's like, yeah, I don't know. Who cares? Like, that's not the point to him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting, because so many of those guys at the party were like, huh, black guy, eh? Yeah. It's like, it was important to them, but not to Stephen Root.
I was kind of hoping that they would have a couple younger white, or really any ethnicities, to show that it happened more than once and it wasn't just black guys. Because it was kind of weird when it was just the three black people and nobody else, but I guess it wouldn't have been.
I think it's, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's a commentary on, like, racism and how, like, people of color in this country aren't as cared for.
That's why.
In that way.
Well, that's why I thought it was kind of an interesting choice when he said, "Oh, I don't know." It seemed like they would have said something.
Wait, who says I don't know?
Your blind boy.
Stephen Root. Yeah. No, but it's not his thing.
No, you're right.
Like, so, like, if Bradley Whitford or Catherine Keener says, I don't know, then it's an obvious deflection for their hidden racism.
Because I'm sorry to say, the assumed answer is because people won't care as much when black people go missing.
Exactly. And so like if Bradley Whitford or Catherine Keener says it, then you assume it's because
clearly
of
not
that.
That's right, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying like that unfortunately it does happen.
But for Stephen Root, he doesn't care about that. The ethnicity isn't important. What's important is the site and the added temptation of he's a photographer and I have this art gallery, so maybe this will help me and blah, 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 whatever, you know?
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. It's like you'd much rather just be gone than just be fucking watching someone pilot your life. Like, that's fucking rough.
Yeah, and I wonder how they do that. Because if it's literally just, like, pop Stephen Root's brain out and like, into his head, it's like, well, I don't think it works and number one, way.
Yeah, I mean, like, how,
I don't think there would be any of him left in there, and it's just like a brain
enjoy
I don't know.
When Grandpa, when the guy who Grandpa took over, when he shot himself, I was like, oh, good, because you would be like, I never want to go through
I'm done.
ever.
I can't do this.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't want to risk it. I'd rather just be over.
I don't want someone to try to like reprogram me. Yeah, like, nope, I'm done.
God.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
What a good movie
in the world.
So how many did you have?
3.
Same. So we got a 30% movie here, which is
so I'm gonna go
better than I expected. Really.
On a limb and say that this is not at all a Freaky Friday.
No, it's 30% Freaky Friday, which could definitely apply to many movies that don't have body swaps in them.
It is freaky.
Ooh. So my one note was about
and I would love
how,
it to get out of my head.
My one note that I had written down was about how like eerie the whole movie is and how it has like maintains this like thriller vibe without ever really bridging fully into horror. I think it gets close, but like I wouldn't call this a horror movie, you know?
Yeah, correct.
Us, on the other hand, I would definitely classify that more as horror.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But, no, this is a good one. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was happy to, like, watch a good movie. Especially, like, even though it's been, like, a couple of weeks, I still have, like, the taste of the hot chick in my mouth. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm cleansing it with some better movies.
Yeah, the old Bob Schneider in there.
Ugh. Bobby! Oh, man. Okay. So last week we threatened to play a voicemail.
Did we?
Are we going to follow up on that threat?
We can try it.
We can try it. Let's see what
we got. Toss it in there and see if you get that awful Bobby taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, that awful Bobby taste. All right, let's see what we got here.
So is this the roast one?
Oh, it is.
Oh, okay. Well, nice. I'm ready.
Yeah, this is a roast.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta send it back to the beginning.
Hey, Keystone Cats. It's your friend Marbles again. What's up? Just calling to
one way.
respond
We can't
to the
answer.
call for roast.
Not much.
For Christoph Polensteiner, a.k.a. the Chicken Master.
Ooh.
The roast will commence now. So, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I want to congratulate you.
That's not a roast.
Chris, on your upcoming wedding. Jodie Foster called. She wanted to congratulate you, too.
It's the opposite of a roast.
She sends her warm wishes.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah. Maybe I miss you guys. Maybe
what?
We can get together and get some.
So the opposite of roasting.
Would love to share some grimaces with you guys. Sounds
you say
good.
grimaces?
Yeah. Love the show. Keep it up.
Like the McDonald's bandit?
More roast. Let's see. Yeah. I loved you in Catalyst. Boom, roasted.
That was like 2 decades ago.
That was literally 7 years ago. Which I love. Okay, well, that was a soft roast. That was a gentle roasting.
That was not a roast.
It was a gentle roasting.
The worst part was Jodie Foster called, and she's excited about.
And she says, "Congratulations!" Like, hang on.
First off, she does. I hid it from her.
You said first off so many times already.
Did I?
Yeah.
What? It's starting over.
You got to be like 5th off by now.
5th off. Well,
that was like that might have actually just been a toast. He may have toasted you.
I think he did your job.
Ooh, oh, hang on. I'm cutting this from the episode. I'm going to use it at the wedding.
Yeah, just play it, and then just have your mouth moving.
With that bird mask that you got me?
Yeah. We got 3 bird masks, so it could be all 3 of us talking.
We're men.
So it was Marvel's talking, it was you talking, me talking, and all the beaks will be moving.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Saves on time, planning, and...
Well, here's the thing. You just described that so well that we don't even need an animation of it because you described it so well.
Oh. I like building scenes.
Oh, do you? Well, shit.
Holy shit.
Hey, we got roasted. Well, someone got roasted. It wasn't me.
I wanted to feel that one more. I didn't feel that one enough.
You want to get roasted a little more?
Yeah, dude.
All right, I'll put out the call.
All right. Is that a Ghostbusters movie? Let's answer the call. Let's answer the call.
Who you gonna call?
No, it's Answer the Call is like the 4th movie or I don't know which.
There is no 4th movie.
Whatever. I think there's.
I guess there's technically 4, but one of them is not like within the same series.
Oh.
The one with the ladies with the.
Yeah, it's Answer the Call.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a very long time. No, I did see it actually. I thought it was fine.
Okay.
But I only saw it once.
Okay.
Fuck you. All right.
Well, thanks for calling.
No. Yeah, thank you for calling.
First off,
if there's any more roasts, if you want to be more vicious, feel free.
I'd be more vicious.
I know.
I will be more vicious.
So you gonna call in and roast yourself?
Hey, call him back.
I mean, we could.
I still think that we should be making calls.
Prank calls?
Yeah,
Do you want us to make prank calls on this show?
Hell yeah.
All right, format change. We're the Jerky Boys now. Hey, Jerky.
You're Jerky Boy 1, and then I'm the jerk.
Fuck you.
You're Jerky Boy 1. And
what
I'm
are we? What are we
jerk
doing?
Face Man.
What are we doing next week?
I'm calling people apparently.
Oh,
You mean the movie?
yeah, the picture.
I don't know.
God damn.
I don't have all that TSA information.
Oh, you're not a detective.
What is that? Total suck ass. What does TSA stand for?
Oh,
I
can't do this.
Security Administrator. Oh, that's it. Telegram Security Administrator.
Yep.
What is it? What's it mean?
I believe it is the Travel Security Authority. I don't know.
Association.
I don't think it's an association.
Telegraphing. Did we get a phone call?
We are getting a phone call.
Was that him?
That was a phone call.
Was that?
No, it was my sister.
Oh.
Because we're plugged into my computer.
Oh, shit. You should have answered it, man.
I mean, I still can.
That was almost as good as...
I mean, I
do
still
it?
can,
Do it.
technically.
Do it. Oh, are we still live?
Yeah. Hey, you're on our podcast. You called.
Hey, we were actually about to
with
start.
a question.
Oh. This is the first. So we're calling people for roasting.
Yeah,
we
do you want
roasting
roast
tips?
So we want roasts for his wedding, but like you could roast him right now if you wanted to.
I'm pretty good at roasting.
Yeah.
Just ask Kristen and Alex.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any tips for you though.
Well, that's not tips. It's roasting.
No, it's roasting. You're supposed to roast him.
I don't have anything.
Just
All right, write something up. Call us back next week.
Call me a jerk face.
I don't want to.
These roasts are weak.
Yeah, this isn't a very good roast.
This is 2 in a
I'm
row.
not prepared. I was trying to offer you my bassinet.
I know.
Well, now you're on a podcast offering bassinets. How much do you want to sell that bassinet
No,
for?
she's not selling it. Shut up.
No, we got listeners. They'll buy it.
No, shut up.
No, it's not for sale.
All right, $42.
Okay.
And friendship for life.
Okay, bye.
Okay, well, bye-bye.
You remember when we used to record at like the practice space and I would sometimes connect my phone to the board thinking maybe someone will call.
Yeah.
Yep, that was why I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
We want to count ourselves in.
We're going to cut some of that out.
We're going to cut a lot of this out.
Yeah.
In fact, all of it. So 3, 2, 1.
Roast. All right, so next week we're watching Vice Versa, which is a movie with Fred Savage and Judge Reinhold.
My name is Judge.
My name is Judge. I explained that whole thing to my wife last night as we were watching that movie, which, spoiler, she hated.
What?
Yeah, so we'll talk about that next time.
Got it.
All right. Well, we've done it again. Thanks for listening this week, and don't forget to watch Vice Versa, or do. Tell your friends about us, and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We are at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycat on Twitter. If you got something to say, you can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. Give us those roasts. Don't forget to check out Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale every Friday. And until next time, I'll be Zach, and he'll be...
Cleese.
Yeah, him.